Hey y'all, I had a few minutes and I decided that I would talk about two staples that I like to make part of a lot of different dinners. They're always a huge hit, one being breads. I can make a loaf of bread, or I can take the same bread recipe and make it into little yeast rolls. So I'm going to do a video on that here, and I'll also do a separate video later about another thing that's near and dear to my heart, brown beans. Also known as pinto beans to y'all not versed in southern slang of any type of bean. We try to keep it simple. Pinto beans, brown beans. Both are delicious, both are easy. I keep the ingredients in my pantry year round because they go with pretty much anything. I know growing up, my mom always had a pot of beans on, so that was pretty much part of most dinners. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So first step, we're going to proof our yeast, because nothing can run bread faster than some weak yeast. Should look bubbly like this. Next, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of honey, and that's going to be our sweetener. You can use a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, but I prefer honey. I don't feel like it tastes as manufactured. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use other oils, but this one doesn't have a lot of flavor and won't come out in your bread. Next, we go with 2 teaspoons of salt. I like kosher salt. As I said in another video, it's easy for me to see. You can use iodized salt, but that's just my preference. Now we're going to add 3 cups of flour. I'm using a 1/2 scoop here, just because when we get to mixing up here in a minute, you add it 1/2 scoop at a time, and it's just less for me to clean up later. Had to refill my jar, ran out of flour. Now don't be alarmed. I'm going to speed up the video speed here for just a second, but this is set at a speed 2. You will smoke your mixer if you go faster. Ask me how I know. So we've added our 3 cups, and I'm going to end up adding another 2.5 cups for a total of 5.5 cups of flour. Once it's starting to ball up on your hook is when you're going to let it knead for about 5 minutes total. It will be nice and sticky and gooey. We're going to pull that out, ball it up, spritz it with a little bit of olive oil around. I do use olive oil here because I don't use a very bold flavored one, and you can't tell it. You're going to coat your bowl as well. Moosh it around, stick it in, nice and cover this so it doesn't stick to the bowl as it rises. And then we're going to cover it for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. That time is up. It is nice and risen. We're going to get a little frustration out here. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to pull that out and separate it. Now I'm going to separate it into 2 halves. One I'm going to make a loaf of bread, and the other I'm going to make into rolls. It doesn't have to be exact. You can just kind of work it out. As you can see, I'm doing here. I didn't measure anything. I'm just going to pull it apart. Roll this entire in a loaf shape. Put it in its pan. Cover it back up. And we're going to let it rise for another hour to 1.5 hours. Now for the rolls. Roll it out. I'm going to cut it into sections. So we're going to flour our surface and roll them up. And try to just get all the rough edges off as best we can. Place them on our pan. And we're also going to cover them and let them rise for about 1 hour to 1.5 hours. This is 1 tablespoon of water and 1 egg for our egg wash. We're going to put this on our rolls to try to keep the moisture inside a roll. That way it doesn't dry out. then into the oven for around 20 minutes. I'm going to do the same for our bread, except no egg wash. I put the paper in there so it didn't stick, and it'll help you get it out later when you're done baking. Into the oven, 20 minutes, maybe 25. Here's our rolls coming, hot and delicious. You can tell they're nice and brown on top, but still soft and steamy in the middle. Bread, the way you tell, the top of it is nice and hard. You usually will tap on it and it gives you a nice stiff thumping sound. That's when you know your bread is done. Pull it out, take it to the paper. As you can tell, see how it came off so easy. Wire rack until it's completely cooled. Thank you for attending my bread talk. Please like, subscribe, and share it. Appreciate y'all.